In this tutorial, I'd like to introduce you to the persistent menu feature. Now, what this is a little menu that will show up right over here once we enable it, and I'll show you that in just a second. That's going to allow anybody who is engaged with you on Messenger to get to some certain topics. Okay, so think of it like a main menu on your on your website. Okay, so you have some kind of the main topics that you want to that a user might inquire about. Right, you might want to have maybe a shop now button if you have an online store. Maybe you want to have some categories in there as well of the different types of products you have. Maybe that's just a contact us button that's there, and giving them different ways to contact you. You can launch a bot on the click of these buttons. You can lead them off to a website on clicks of these buttons. Okay, so let's go ahead and build kind of a test menu here, and I'll show you exactly how you set this up. Now, with the persistent menu, you are allowed 3 parent items and 5 nested menu items for each of those parents. Okay, so I'll show you exactly what that means. So let's go ahead and add our first parent item here, and I'm just going to use this as a generic shop now, and I'm going to save that. And what you're going to see is you're going to have some options here, okay? And you'll have basically 2 options. So here you can change the title, whatever you named it here. But you're going to have 2 different options here. You can either select a chat engage bot to attach so that will launch when the user clicks this button, or you can send it to a URL. So for this particular one, I'm just going to leave the parent with no nested menu items underneath it. So it'll just be a top level button, okay? So let's just put a fake link in here, google.com, and we're going to save it. Okay, all right, so now we have our first item. Let's go ahead and add the next parent item. And let's just say we wanted to put some categories here. Okay, so I'm going to say categories, and I'm going to go ahead and build that. Okay, now, for your parent items, this is how the menus work, okay? If you have children underneath the category, and I'm going to go ahead and add that, add a child to this right now, but let me first just give you an example here, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to put an action on this button, and I'm going to have it launch a bot, okay? And I'm just going to choose anyone, doesn't matter. Okay, so right now I have an action on this. So if you'll notice, when I want to edit, there's 2 ways that I can edit an existing menu item that I've created. One, I can simply just click it here, and you'll see that loads the action that I put on there, so I can kind of go back and forth. Or you'll see a little edit button here. You can click that as well. So either way, you can get to it and kind of modify the action that you've set on it. Now, I show you this for a reason, because what's going to happen is in this one here, this main parent, I have an action put on this particular parent button. But as soon as I add a child, okay, and we're just going to call this, let's just say, boots. Okay, now what's going to happen, I'm going to click back over to categories, and you'll see there is no, the action, it's been removed. And that is because this now acts as a parent navigation item, and I'll show you exactly how that looks in Facebook in just a second. So let's just go ahead and put some bots onto this particular one here. Now, in this case, you might want to have a nice gallery. Create a bot that has a nice gallery in it of the different boots. Or whatever categories could be content that you want to send them to, whatever it may be. For the sake of this demonstration and tutorial, I just want to show you how to build these actual menus. So you can have, as I said, up to 5 of these nested under each of our parent items. Okay, so you'll see here I have a parent item which has no action. And then I have boots, okay? And of course I have a top level item here as well. Now I'm going to add my third parent item, okay? And I'm going to just say a contact us, okay? Now I want to give them multiple ways to contact me. So I'm not even going to apply an action to this because I know I'm going to put children underneath it. And that first thing I'm going to say is contact us, let's see, on Messenger. All right, which they're already on. But what I'll do is add a chat bot to it because I might want to launch a chat bot. Okay, I might want to say, all right, when they click that button, I might want to give them some choices about what they can do. Maybe there's you can lead them off to a link to learn more information. You can launch a bot that maybe has a contact us by phone. You can begin any kind of conversation and attach any bot to that to get that conversation started. All right, so let's just go ahead and add another one here and contact us. Let's see. Let's just say, visit site. And for that one, I'm going to want to put on now on a URL. Okay, now all of these must have actions on them. And now if they don't, if you have children here and they do not have an action on it, so I'm going to go ahead and just add one here quick. And this is just going to be a test. So, so I'm just going to say child and save it. And if I try to send this menu to it, what I'm going to do is, actually, we're going to need to want to activate first, is it's going to give me and tell me that I need to set an action on this child here, or just simply remove it, either way. But you have to have an action on these children. Now, because this is a parent item, you don't have to have an action on it, and I'll show you exactly why. It's going to make a lot more sense here in a minute. So I'm going to go ahead and just remove that one for now. Okay. So now, at this point, I've activated the menu, so we must make sure that we do that. Okay, so we're going to toggle this on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to send the menu to Facebook. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take a look at what that is. I'm going to make sure I refresh my page here. And then I'm going to go check this out. And as you'll see, there's this little, what they call a hamburger. Okay, so it's a little icon to show you that there is a menu there. Now let's click on that menu. Now if you'll notice, we have Shop Now, Categories, and Contact. Shop Now, Categories, and Contact. Now, as I've said before, this is just a single parent item, and we have an action attached to it. Okay, so if I click it, it's going to take me to Google, because that's what I have set up. Now, if you'll notice here, we have some children underneath this one. Okay, we have boots. And on the categories, the parent level, we have no action, and here is why. Because it acts as a secondary menu. Watch when I click it. You see the little arrow here? There, it took us to our next level, basically. Now, if I launch this one and click this one, then that will, of course, trigger the action that I have set on Boots, which is launching this particular bot. Let's take a look at Contact. So on Contact, you'll see I have On Messenger and Visit Site. On Messenger and Visit Site. If either of those buttons are pushed, it will then trigger whatever action that you've assigned to it. All right? Now, let's stay over here and do some reorganizing. Now, what we can do is we can actually drag and drop these in a different order. Okay, so I want to say drag that one up there, and I'm just going to go ahead and send a menu to Facebook. Now, there can be up to about a minute delay for Facebook to actually kick it in. I haven't seen it delay that long, but just be aware that there is a possibility, and you have to refresh your page to get the new any updates that you make to it to show. So right now, you'll see I have Contact, and there's Contact. Okay, so we see I've reorganized that, and there's my secondary menu. All right. Now, what we can also do is I can take one of these children, and I can actually move it into a different parent. Okay, so now I have it here. So I'm going to send that. We always want to click the Send menu to Facebook after we've updated. This Save button is simply saving the action and the title, the text of the button. But this is what actually sends it to Facebook, okay? So now I've reorganized. So now in Categories, I have Visit Site as well. So let's go ahead and refresh. All right. There we go. And as you'll see, there's Visit Site. So you can see you can reorder these. You can move children into different parents. You can shuffle the order that the actual parents display in. It's up to you. You can do whatever you want. Just always remember to send that menu to Facebook. Okay, that's what's going to actually apply the changes. Now, what we can do is if you want to turn that off, all you need to do is deactivate the menu and, of course, send the menu to Facebook. Now, we're going to give you a little toggle here, or a little confirm box just to make sure that you want to deactivate this menu. And I'm going to hit OK. All right. And you'll see it's been deleted from Facebook, which it has. And we'll go ahead and check that. Okay. And you'll see it is now gone. All right. So now this view, I'm going to go ahead and enable this again, and I'm going to send this back to Facebook. This will show up in this little modal, okay, or in messenger.com as well. Now these will show up in mobile on iOS and Android. Please keep in mind that Facebook displays them. The UI is a little bit different, so the buttons may look a little bit different from device to device, and that is something that Facebook controls. But as you can see, we have our menu here as well, okay. So very simple to use, can be a powerful little tool for any kind of information that you just kind of always want accessible to a visitor. Okay, something important, sending them off to some content, getting them over to a shop, giving them an easy way to contact you, or launching some sort of a bot that's going to show them, hey, here's how you can interact with my bot on my page. Maybe sign up for a webinar. Or whatever it may be, okay? So that is how we use the persistent menu. If you have any questions at all, please contact us at support@segmateapp.com.